Good afternoon. This is my HSCO 511 group leading video report. Let me start with a brief introduction of who I am. My name is Robert Tyndall. Today's date is August 8th, 2018, and the current time is 2:09 p.m. The presentation or the meeting actually took place earlier today at 10 a.m. The duration of the meeting was 1 hour and 10 minutes long. It was set in Fairfax, Virginia at the Facet Small Conference Room, which is my current employer. There was 4 participants. We can see their names right here on the board behind me. There was 4 people who were willing to participate in this project/presentation. Their relationship to me were they were potential clients. Let me take you through part of the process, the content, and the group dynamic section or portion of the presentation here and what we covered earlier today. Everyone started arriving at between 10 and 10:20 a.m., which was this set time for everyone to get together. From 10:20 to 10:25, I introduced myself to each individual as they came in. Basic greeting: hi, how are you? Does anyone want any coffee, tea, water, bagels, anything of that nature? From there, we discussed the agenda. So the agenda does include a brief warm-up, group introductions, personal goals, what led to our situation. We would then summarize around 11 a.m. or so, and then we would adjourn the meeting between 11:05 to 11:10. So let me take you through what we covered during the introduction portion of the meeting. Here again on the board we see 4 names: Leo, Destiny, Peter, and Jasmine. These 4 individuals are all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different genders, ethnicities, etc., different ages. From there, I wanted to get a better understanding, and I wanted each and every one of these individuals to get a better understanding and feel for each other during this meeting. We discussed our personal goal, which each and every individual's personal goal was to better their current situation. Some people had a more dramatic each individual some had more of a dramatic turnaround of what they wanted to do during that improvement of their personal goals and accomplishment of their personal goals. And then the topic that we actually were going to talk about today is what led to their current situation. The topic portion would actually take place from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. What I'm actually going to do here is incorporate both what led to their current situation and their personal goals in one summary of each individual. So the first individual we'll see up here is Leo. Leo is currently homeless, and he is homeless due to he did not pay child support, and from there he was ultimately arrested. Once released from incarceration, he tried to apply for jobs. Once he obtained a job and they found out he had a criminal background, he was released from that job. He bounced around from shelter to shelter, and his ultimate goal is to find employment and obtain stable housing. The second person we have here is Destiny. Her situation started when she was 9 years old. She was put in foster care due to her coming from an abusive household. And from the age of 9 to 18, she was in the foster care system. From there, she was released to a psychiatric ward for 2 years. So from 18 to 20, she was there. And then shortly thereafter, 21 through 26, she's been on the streets. She's had nowhere to go, no family. Most of the people that she knows are also homeless. And what she is actually looking to do as far as her personal goal is to get an ID, get a driver's license, look for employment, and find stable housing. Peter, he's a 60-year-old male. This individual has been homeless for the last 5 years. He and his wife recently got a divorce 5 years ago, and she acquired, I want to say she acquired 60% of the total belongings between the 2 individuals. From there, Peter had to pay both alimony and child support. They had children a bit later in life. Um, and he ultimately could not sustain paying his rent and car note. And from there, he lost his housing, his vehicle, and has since been sleeping in the woods. His ultimate goal is to find stable housing and hopefully get a job. He wants employment. He wants to work again. However, it's a bit difficult when you have to reside in the woods, um, and that's where you that's your home. That's his home right now, the woods. And our last individual, Jasmine, her situation started no more than 2 years ago. She's a 45-year-old female, excuse me, 45-year-old female, excuse me, and she worked in real estate. She had a family, kids, husband, and ultimately one of her friends introduced her to methamphetamine, which ultimately is a fairly addictive substance. From there, what happened was there was a snowball effect. She lost her job, her family. Uh, she became homeless ultimately, and she would do unfavorable things in order to obtain the drug and chase the high. Her goal for herself is to get clean, which is something she's currently working with. She has a therapist and she does go to AA meetings as well so that she can get clean. Once that happens, she did promise to look into getting her real estate license back, get back into real estate, and get housed. All four of these individuals want the same basic thing. They want to get back to work and they want to be housed. From there, we had our summary, which during the summer we kind of summarized everyone's situation, which was fairly beneficial to everyone because one thing that each individual took from this that you're not alone in the situation. Each and everybody here has their own trials and tribulations that they're dealing with. However, they're all looking to better their situation, and all they needed was a listening ear and a helping hand. For a brief self-assessment, I believe it was overall a fairly good performance. I enjoyed what I did. I think my main challenge was I was nervous, and I think they could sense that. But though these four individuals saw that I was fairly nervous, they were still fairly lenient with me, and they worked along with me. A few things I feel I did really well. Cutting off, which is something I'm proud of because I'm not normally good at that. I feel it feels confrontational to me, but the cutting off came when Leo would flirt with Destiny here. He would flirt with her during the meeting, and that would distract the other two individuals here, both Peter and Jasmine. So that's something I'm also proud of. Also, setting a good tone was something else that the individuals all enjoyed, and I will cover that shortly. Multicultural understanding was something else that I'm also proud that I was able to do, and I made everyone here feel welcome. I made hope I made everyone feel that I understood their walk of life. One thing that I can say that I paid a special attention to, and this is something that I also included in one of our group posts that I feel I struggle with, was active listening. So I made sure I paid special attention to that, and I made sure that each individual saw that I was nodding my head when the time was appropriate. I gave them great eye contact, so they all knew that I was paying special attention to each and every one of them. In conclusion, I would have to say one of the biggest highlights for this was I know I made a fairly good impression with each of the participants. They all told me at the end of the presentation, at the end of the project and group meeting, they all said they wanted to work with me to help them improve their situation. That is highly flattering when an individual tells you that they want to work with you because you've done something that no other case manager has done with them. You've brought four individuals from different ages, ethnicities, genders. You bring them together and show them that each and every one of them has a similar struggle, but at the end, the struggle was the exact same. They were all homeless and they were all looking to improve their situation. And that made me feel great. And I was glad that I could help these individuals. One thing that I definitely feel like I need to enhance, and I think I will be sure to do that, is in the future, if there's ever a time that I'm going to be doing a presentation with a group like I did today, I'll be sure that my voice does not come across as monotone. I will improve my use of voice. I feel like that's one thing that I didn't do as well as I should have. But I took note of that. If I had to make a concluding thought, I would have to say one thing that these individuals said to me today that I greatly appreciate is that we're all one decision away from being in a less than favorable position. That's something that will resonate with me for a while. Thank you for listening. This was my HSCO 511 group leading video report. Thank you.